Alright, we are back yet again on Fantasy Football on 5. Now, last week was our offensive free agency moves. This week will be defensive free agency moves.
So if you haven't seen last week's video, hit the big red button below. Alright, so we're going to start off this defensive free agency video with some defensive lineman signings. I'm just going to read through all of them real quick. Mario Williams signs with the Dolphins. Malik Jackson signs a huge deal with the Jaguars. Tom Bahali re-signs with the Chiefs, and JPP re-signs with the Giants.
There's also Charles Johnson returning to the Panthers. Oliver Vernon signs with the Giants. The Giants sign defensive tackle Damon Harrison. Chargers sign Brandon Mebane. The Chiefs re-sign Jay Howard, and the Patriots sign Chris Long, and they also trade away Chandler Jones to the Cardinals for John Cooper, a guard, and a second-round pick, as well as Tampa Bay signing Robert Ayers and the Lions re-signing Haloti Ngata.
Malik Jackson signing with the Jaguars was absolutely huge. It was a 5-year deal. I don't know how much. It was over $100 million, I think. But he definitely strengthens their defensive line with Sindaric Marks. And with all the core linebackers that they have, they're in for a scary good defense.
And I think the Dolphins signing Mario Williams is actually going to hurt their defense because they're going to just get older at the defensive line, and I think their defensive line is going to fall apart. Okay, now for this segment, we are going to do the linebackers. Starting off, I'll just list them all. We have Miami trading for Kiko Alonso from the Eagles. We have Bruce Irvin signing with the Raiders. Danny Trevathan agrees to terms with the Bears. Derek Johnson re-signs with the Chiefs. The Lions re-sign Tahir Whitehead, and the Saints sign James Laurinaitis. Now, I think Bruce Irvin signing with the Raiders is a huge deal because the Raiders, they already have a great linebacker in Khalil Mack, and now they have a coverage linebacker who can also pass rush in Bruce Irvin. So expect that to be a big signing.
The Saints, with their signing of James Laurinaitis, it definitely helps them out a lot. Their run defense and their whole defense in general was pitiful last year. It was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
They gave up 52 points to the Giants. I mean, come on. But he'll definitely strengthen their interior defense, so it's a good signing for them. Alright, so last but not least, we're going to do all the secondary. Miami, they trade for Byron Maxwell from the Eagles. Speaking of the Eagles, they signed cornerback Leos McKelton for the Bills. Janoris Jenkins moves over from LA, goes to the Giants. The Bengals re-sign safety George Iloka, and the Eagles sign safety Rodney McLeod.
The Raiders signed quarterback Sean Smith. Pac-Man Jones re-signs with the Bengals. Eric Weddle signs on with the Ravens. Prince Mukamara goes to the Jaguars along with Deshaun Gibson. And Casey Hayward signs with the Chargers, with Brent Grimes signing with the Bucks.
Eric Weddle going to the Ravens, it definitely helps the Ravens out a lot because their defense was really bad last year. But he's an older guy, but I'm surprised that the Ravens signed him because he hasn't gotten arrested yet. So maybe things will change.
Another big signing was the Janoris Jenkins signing to the Giants because that pretty much solidifies their cornerback position for years to come. And so they have him and DRC, which creates a pretty good tandem. Alright, now this segment we want to just highlight a couple of different players and teams who we think did pretty well in free agency. So starting off, we have the Giants as a team. They signed JPP and Oliver Vernon as well as Damon Harrison, and that pretty much creates a really great defensive line. They will be able to bully people up front and just won't have to worry about getting pressure.
Individually speaking, Chris Long signing with the Patriots is big for both parties. Long was with the Rams, and they're a great defensive line for the longest time. And now with Chandler Jones departing, it leaves Long to have kind of a resurgent year with the Patriots. I'm not sure how long he signed up with them for.
I think it was a one-year deal.
But expect them to re-sign him after this year.
Another one would be the Jaguars. I think they have just absolutely reformed their defense and just made them a real contender. Getting a few secondary players with Prince Mukamara, and then Tashawn Gibson. Those were our really big signings, as well as the signing of Malik Jackson up front. That I couldn't think of his name. He pretty much solidifies that defensive end position. So they'll have a good set of defensive linemen, young linebackers, and then really good secondary. So watch out.
I do have to say though, I think the Malik Jackson signing was a bit too much.
Yes.
It was a bit too high. But they have the biggest cap space of all the teams.
And they had to use it.
Yeah.
This year. So.
And they used it wisely. But I think the Jackson signing was maybe $10 million too high.
Yeah.
Alright, that was Fantasy Football in 5. Thank you for watching. We deliver all your fantasy news in 5 minutes left because honestly, who would want to watch a 30-minute video on this topic?
Amen.
This was our defensive free agency video. Next week will be the finale of free agency. So stick with us and don't forget to subscribe.